Hi, in this video I would like to talk about design patterns, what they are and why we need them. Don't want to show you a whole list of patterns because I think it does not make any sense from my point. I think better understanding will be in case if I will show you a problem in the code and after solution of how to resolve this problem using some pattern. I know that until current time we wrote many articles about patterns and we can find hundreds of pages which describe them. But anyway, my aim is to describe the concept of patterns in my vision as simple as possible. What patterns are and why we need them, without using difficult explanation, and I hope your understanding of this will be more clearly. And please, don't worry, if you don't understand patterns, all you need is to try to learn it. Read articles in web, try to apply it in practice, and finally you will get full vision and any girl will fall in love with you. Okay, so patterns is just common approach for solving common issues or common problems, not more. Patterns is just like a tool that will helps you to write very powerful and extensible system and make your life easily in this world. This approach was created and tested many years ago by many developers around the world, so you don't need to reinvent the wheel, just use it. Sometimes you can even a little bit change this approach and you will not break signature of pattern because all patterns represents concept but not formulas. This means that when you are trying to apply some of them, you can use it as you wish. It depends only on your requirements. I saw many times developers ask on the forum or in the blog something like, if I will do like this, will it break pattern rules? The answer is, pattern is not a formula, it's just a concept that you can use and change under your requirements at the current moment. For instance, pattern strategy contains three main parts: strategy, concrete strategy, and context. So if you don't need context in your application, just don't use it. To make your understanding a little bit clearly, I prepared one very simple comparison. Let's imagine that one line of programming code equals one brick and one pattern equals style of how you put these bricks. And let's compare this in real world example. For instance, building of house. When you would like to build a house, you have to put bricks in a proper way. Only in this case you can guarantee that your house will be strong and will not break. However, this is also not a problem if you wish to build an anti-rocket wall and put bricks in 2 or 3 rows to make it more solid. Putting bricks in 2 rows is not a common rule, it's just your desire. If you wish, you can put bricks in 4 rows, it's up to you. From the other hand, if you want to put bricks randomly, house will be not so solid, with holes in the wall or even just collapse like cart house. And let's take a look how it looks development of application is very similar to building your house. For instance, when you would like to develop an application, you have to write code in a proper style. Only in this case you can guarantee that your application will be stable, extensible, will not crash and easily understandable by any other developers. However, this is also not a problem. If you wish to apply strategy pattern, this pattern I will describe a little bit later, and due to requirements you don't want to create context class like it described in all books, because context class we need in case to store additional data for strategy, and if you just don't need this, you don't have to create this one, that's it. From other hand, if you want to write code and don't think about next things like, can I use pattern here, is this not duplicate, my method does only one thing, in my code is my code supportable, is my code extensible, is my code is good, etc. So if you are not thinking about this, your application will be difficult to develop, and it will be not extensible, not so solid, because solid principles will be broken, and finally it will turn to a big madness which very difficult to support. So I think that after this comparison you understood my point. I would like to remind you once again, pattern is not a formula, it's just concept which you can use to develop your applications. So this is all that I wanted to say you about patterns, and in the next video I will show you how to resolve one of most famous problems in the code by using strategy pattern. Under famous problem I mean if-else code style. It's more typical for beginners problems. So let's take a look on this complicated method. As you can see, the problem is that this method has 3 if statement, and in the first if you can see another if, else, if. So in the next video I will discuss why this code is terrible and how we can replace this by using most famous strategy pattern. Thank you.